Today, the University and the Alumni Association are pleased to present Northeastern Illinois University Distinguished Alumnus Award. Alice McGee and Vice President Downey, please join me at the podium. The Distinguished Alumnus Award is the highest alumni honor the university bestows. It recognizes a particular achievement of note, or a series of achievements, or a career of outstanding accomplishment. At Northeastern, one of our most treasured values is the attainment of excellence. Among our many thousands of successful Northeastern alumni, Alice McGee is an exemplar. Ms. McGee graduated from Northeastern in 1984 with a degree in speech. She secured an internship to work with Oprah Winfrey and was subsequently hired as Oprah's first employee. Together, they made media history. McGee went from Oprah's chief publicist to senior supervising producer. McGee convinced Oprah to start Oprah's Book Club, and Oprah put McGee in charge of it with the addition of producing her TV shows. The book club sold millions of books and certainly informed reading in America. Pre-orders with the bookstores often required 500,000 copies on announcement day. McGee won 9 individual Emmy Awards for outstanding production of The Oprah Winfrey Show. McGee had creative oversight of 5 production teams. This Northeastern graduate has made an important contribution to the history of television and media. Therefore, given your many achievements and contributions to society, it is most befitting, on behalf of Northeastern Illinois University and the Northeastern Illinois University Alumni Association, that I present the 2017 Distinguished Alumnus Award to Alice McGee. And now, distinguished alumnus Alice McGee will deliver the commencement address to the graduates.
President Hldabler, you honor me. Thank you so much. It is an honor behind words to be here. These are the very undignified memes I have brought with me today. I have a son who is close to your age, and he was horrified to think that I was going to open with a joke. He said, please, no mom humor. And I said, what makes you think I have mom humor? And he said, well, you're on Pinterest. So I offer you these today in absence of a joke that would be mom humor. This is as close as it gets to mom humor. I relate to that dog. It said, I still have no idea what I'm doing. I just received an incredible award, and yet sometimes I do feel I have no idea what I'm doing. So graduates, if you feel that way and you relate to that dog, that proud dog, I'm with you. As President Hldabler so eloquently, I do owe my lifetime career to Oprah and this award. I was with her for 18 years, and we still occasionally confer. It was my honor to work with her all those years, but I would not have had the career I had it not been for Northeastern. Like you, I was supposed to graduate in December 1983. There's an old Yiddish saying that if you want to make God laugh, make plans. I had plans, and I had my credits, and I had my last 3, and I was going to have my internship in fall, but life had other plans. The intern advisor here at Northeastern had an emergency back surgery, was out. I was kind of left on my own, and I called WTTW that paid interns, and they said, no, I'm sorry, it's filled. I called CBS News, Bill Curtis and Walter Jacobs said, no, I'm sorry, it's filled. I called WLS, and they said, come down, we'll see what we could do. I did happen to do very well on the typing test, so I found myself in an interview, and Rosemary Gully, she was a on-air talent at WLS Channel 7 back in 1984, and she said, you seem like one of the good ones. I'm going to let you in on a secret. We have a dynamic new host starting in January. I think you'd be a good fit. There's no guarantee. January. I told all my friends I was graduating in December, and I was reminded of the infamous marshmallow test, and that was where they tested children. They said you could have a marshmallow now, or if you could wait 15 minutes, we'll give you 2 marshmallows. Well, it wasn't 15 minutes, it was 4 months. But I waited, and it was literally the best decision of my life. It paid off in droves, and it reminds me of a lesson that Oprah has taught me. She is one of my great teachers, in addition to all the wonderful teachers I had at Northeastern Illinois. She said, God can dream a bigger dream for you than you could ever dream for yourself. And that means sometimes letting go of your plans, not trying to wrestle things to the ground, allowing. Don't blaming, just allow the higher power to work through you. And through all the circumstances I had of having a setback, sometimes setbacks are blessings in disguise, as it was with me. So I had my internship, and I was hired. And this is the tale of 2 interns. I was from Northeastern, and the other girl was from Northwestern. Marcy, I still remember her name. She was chatty, she was pretty. Oh my God, I love your shoes. And she was very, very outgoing, extroverted. I was not. I was very unassuming, quiet, kind of looked at her shoes a lot. She never said she loved my shoes because my shoes weren't very nice. And I was just quietly dutiful. I worked throughout college, like many of you probably here today. And I felt out of my element. I worked a lot down the hallway. That file room was a mess, and I sacrificed face time in order to get that file room in order. And one day Oprah said, Alice, what days are you here? I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, ma'am. I just love the quiet. I could hear myself think. So that was the first moment she recognized me. The second came, again, through the grace of Northeastern. Since I had only 3 credit hours that January, I had enrolled in a night class, a writer's workshop, and one of the older students was reading The Color Purple, and I said, can I see that book? That's such a lovely cover. So I bought it the next day downtown, came in the morning because I drove the L, drove my 72 Nova to the L station, and Oprah saw me with the book in hand, and she said, how do you know about that book? And I said, oh, I love to read. And she asked me what other books I had read, and I said, well, I just finished Song of Solomon for my 20th Century Lit course, and what did you think of it? I thought it was the most amazing book I ever read. Might say the book club was born that day. It took us 12 years. We didn't dare put fiction on the air back in 1984. There was a lot of, you guys weren't even born yet, but there was a lot of tabloid television, and it was too risky. We shared a book club relationship between us. We'd get so excited and giddy. And once a year, we would do just 5 minutes on the best books for the summer. And the reason why we did that show was so we could get free books from the publisher. The day came in 1996 where I said, why don't we try to share this? And we took a leap of faith, and it really paid off. So I managed to stand out as an intern because of Northeastern. We're an exceptional group, all of us in the room today, because we did not necessarily go and rely on our parents to just write a check for us to college. It is the best value, and we earned our degree, I'd like to think, more than other kids that took for granted and got to the college just on their own. You guys earned it, and I recently had toured Northeastern in the fall, and I loved looking at the parking lot. These were students that worked. These were not students that were driving Range Rovers. These were students that knew the value of this degree. And I think that is an exemplary performance that you're going to bring into the workplace and make a positive difference. I have visuals because I'm a television producer, and it horrified me to speak here without visuals. So, where am I? This is the Oprah show. This is just a few really poor quality photos of us through the years. And what I loved about Harpo, working there, 1984 to 2004, was the diversity. There was no majority, there was no minority. And that photo in the lower right spilled out, it kind of cracked me up because there are, let's see, we represent every culture. We were our own melting pot, and Northeastern had prepared me that for their diversity. I grew up in Cicero. It was quite homogenous, but here at Northeastern, I experienced the rich diversity that prepared me for Harpo. We had a lot of differences sometimes at Harpo, working together, but none of them were cultural. Oprah and I joked one day because we had, in that photo, there's, let's see, we have every representative, including LB, I don't want to screw this up, the LBGT community. And it cracked me up because this was in the 80s, and Oprah said, "Do we have a closet here?" I said, "I don't think we have a closet. I don't even think we have doors. I think we're all on the front porch." That's how open we were. And because of our differences, the Oprah show was what it was. We were our own melting pot. So through the years, I had a ringside seat to Oprah, who just, the nuggets of wisdom transformed my life in so many ways. It was the show, but there was also having a ringside seat. So I brought with me just 3, and it was very hard to choose 3. She had said, if you want to be successful, be excellent. If you want the best the world has to offer, offer the world your best. And it reminds me, again, of my internship. Do your best, even if it's a job you don't care about, even if it's a part of a job that you don't think is, you might even think it's beneath you, but not this crowd. I love the fact that we are the ones that will do it. We are the good workers in the world, and that will raise you higher and higher. Another lesson Oprah taught me, and this was so key, you are responsible for your life. You can't keep blaming someone else for your dysfunction. Life is about moving on. Life is unfair at times. Bad things happen to good people, but it's how you deal with it. You can change your life by changing your attitude. And that begins with taking responsibility. When bad things happen, when your intern coordinator hurts his back and is out for a month, you take the cards that you're offered and you play them. You don't play victim. Why is this happening to me? I think we all have a friend that will say, why is this happening? I can't believe this has happened. Accept it and moved on. This is another one of my favorites from Oprah. You become what you believe. Beliefs are often, your beliefs are in the words that you use. Words are extremely powerful. So I encourage the women especially, be careful how you use your words. You might want to make the other person feel better by saying, oh, I'm so ditzy, I'm a blonde. Don't. There's power in words. Your belief is represented in your words, so use them wisely. Maya Angelou was a frequent guest on the Oprah Book Club shows, and I had the honor of meeting her several times, and she was Oprah's Oprah. She was her mentor. And Oprah said to her about the Leadership Academy in South Africa, she goes, this will be my legacy. And Maya Angelou said, no, no. Only 2 people in the world, I think, could correct Oprah, and Maya Angelou was one of them. She goes, dear, your legacy is in the lives that you touch, all the lives that you touch. I thought about that when I had read it. I read that Oprah herself had offered it in a commencement speech about the lives you touch. Thought again about the Oprah Book Club. I have received many gifts through my run with Oprah. She is world-renowned for her generosity, and I was the recipient of many of those gifts. I received the fur coat, the diamond earrings. I even once received for my wedding a suitcase full of $50,000. They were all singles. Can you imagine? I had always told her that singles are a girl's best friend, so she gave me 50,000 of them. That alone is still not the greatest gift she gave me. The greatest gift she gave me is being able to touch lives through Oprah's Book Club, being able to help introduce the world to authors like Isabella Allende, Toni Morrison, Maya Angelou. We all take jobs, we do work for money. But when you find meaning in your work, that's when you hit the jackpot. It doesn't get better than that. And that is going to be your greatest gift, when you find your position where you would do it even if no one paid you. You find meaning. It fulfills you in ways that you have no idea, and the best is yet to come. My wish for you is that you find something bigger than yourself and that you touch lives. It's almost the Christmas season. I don't know if you all know It's a Wonderful Life. It's an old movie. I hope you all had the privilege to see it one day. It's basically a story of a man who's at his wit's end. He's very desperate, and Clarence the angel comes down as he's about to commit suicide and shows him what life would be like without him. At one point, I think this is a wonderful exercise for us all to do. What would life be without you? You might think that you're a failure. Sometimes you might get down on yourself, but think about it. There's quiet acts that you have done that have raised someone, that has saved someone. It's just, even if it was a smile, you might have changed someone's day. Mother Teresa had said, not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. So you don't have to be Oprah to change lives. Now, speaking of touching lives, there is a person here, seated here today, and he is the reason I am here. Before Rummel Hall, Rummel was a teacher. Dr. Rummel was one of my communications teacher. He saw me. He called me by my name. And he once came down to the Oprah show, and it was just a joy to have him here and him remembering me. And then we lost touch, and there was a Chicago Magazine article in 2016. And before I know it, I got an email. And Dr. Rummel brought me back into the fold. And it was such a full circle moment being here today for him. He has endowed dozens of scholarships, including one in my name. That's touching lives. And I want to thank you, Dr. Rummel, so much. If you could give a wave. It is my gift to you that you have brought me back, because you brought me back to my 1984-year-old self, very hungry and remembering the gifts that I received through teachers like you and through Northeastern. And you provided me a chance to give back to Northeastern today. Dr. Rummel asked to borrow an Emmy, and he has taken that Emmy on so many great places. I've got photographs that I wasn't able to bring today, maybe through luck, but he is so proud of his students. He sees you. These are the type of teachers that we have at Northeastern. They see you, they know your name. They're gonna look you up in 20 years and bring you back to the fold, and I hope it doesn't take 20 years. It is a full circle moment, and I've been so blessed to having great teachers in the classroom and outside the classroom, and I hope you have them too. As I said, Oprah is my life's teacher, and she continues to teach me, especially on Sundays. I have to admit, I was raised Catholic, but lately, I've been turning into Super Soul Sunday because I find such a connection there with some of the people on that show, and I don't have to dress up, and I don't have to find a seat at church. And it has inspired me so much. I purchased this book, and I was overwhelmed in preparation for today. I thought, okay, now my teacher is done a book about her teacher's teachers. How could I possibly impart this in a few minutes? So I explained my dilemma to Oprah, and I wrote her an email on Monday, and guess what? She wants to give the book to every one of you today, the graduates. So in her words, you get a book, all the graduates get a book. Now, I want you to know I had to pay for the book myself. I ordered it on Amazon about when it first came out. It was on back order. So I am glad to be able to give this gift to you, and I hope it touches your lives. It's not a book that you have to read cover to cover. It just dispels nuggets of wisdom. It's by, sometimes some mornings I just open it up, and I tend to get a message from the day. If I'm angry, I look to the chapter in forgiveness. If I'm feeling kind of down, I look for joy. And also, if you don't like it, it'll make a lovely Christmas present for your mothers. I thank you so, so much for this honor. I was able to be here today, and all the lives that I want to touch your life the way Northeastern has touched mine and Dr. Brummel. I'm going to end on a happy note. This is just a public service announcement to stay in your seats. My one last meme. Thank you so much.